I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we're going to have a look at the crypto market of today. I am officially back. I had a lot of work to do, but fortunately today there will be quite a long video going to review Launchpads, gaming tokens, gaming crypto, what I've been up to, everything you need to know to stay up to date in the crypto market in this video. So I'm happy to be back. Obviously, I've been working hard on my vesting tracker tool. So basically a software called trackdigits.com, which is currently in beta, and it will be free to use while in beta for everybody. So make sure to head over to the link in the description to the Digits Club Discord channel, where basically I collect feedback on this tool. So as you can see, I gave all kinds of replies on feedback tickets from users. We're continuously updating this tool, and I basically want to get as many people as possible to use this while we're in beta because it's extremely useful. And in addition to that, obviously it is free. So basically how it works is you put in your vesting of your tokens, and it will basically track the value, send you Google Calendar notifications when you can claim, so you never miss a claim of your tokens, and you can sell them either as soon as possible, or at least you have a good overview. So as you can see, at the moment, I have not all my tokens in there. So I have $18,800 investing. I have about $4,000 more of tokens, which I still need to add. But as you can see, there's a whole overview with claims, purchase amounts, and everything. So if you're interested in this, there will be an announcement on my Discord soon that it will be completely free to use. In other news, the crypto fear and greed index is looking at extreme fear. Last week, yesterday, today, basically 21, 23, 21, it's basically hovering, well, not near the extreme, basically inside the extreme. So the extreme goes to about 30 right here. And last month we closed with fear at around 44. This is basically solely to do regards to the Bitcoin dominance, right? 42.7%. So whatever Bitcoin does, the market will slowly follow. Over the last month, we've seen quite a bit of shakiness, where there have been significant ups and significant downs, right? The invasion of Ukraine marking the low of 34K, all the way to like 44K, back to basically right here, about 37K, up again. It has been extremely volatile. Where we zoom out, we can basically see it's moving sideways, right? It's basically, there are some ups and downs, but it's not like a clear trend. So if in a 1 year pattern, we're still in that linear downward trend, but that was stopped here. And since then, basically basically on my birthday, right, the 22nd of January, it has moved sideways ever since. Of course, what's the market going to do? We cannot project what is going to happen. However, we can look at some interesting opportunities because many things have been happening. We can see Ethereum at about 2.5K, which basically means that the NFTs are relatively cheap on the Ethereum blockchain at the moment, yet there is quite little traction. And I will go more into detail why I believe that is, just my opinion, a little bit later in this video when we cover the NFTs. Looking at the top 100 coin, Elrond making some significant gains today. Other than that, it has been pretty quiet. Not any huge spikes, not any huge crashes either. Anything that would draw the attention. IoTex definitely did not pump as expected. So basically the launch of their Launchpad, IoTex pad, which I did the strategic round for, is launching today or is currently in progress. But the pump was definitely not as significant. So it did make like a small, about 8% gain, right? Maybe a little bit higher, but then it dropped quite quickly. You need the IoTex token to basically swap it for IoTex pad token. Yet, of course, the market conditions in general are extremely unfavorable. So we see that everywhere, right? We see that on the tokens slowly declining in value. We see that on the Launchpad tokens declining rapidly in value. We see that in IDO projects not selling out. We see that in NFT volumes being reduced. And I even see it on my YouTube views going down. So definitely all these things go hand in hand, basically. And of course, a market is inevitably going to reverse, whether sooner or later, nobody knows. But in that case, when it does happen, everything will be great again. So in my opinion, anything or anyone that is able to push through the bearish trend in the market and look at basically the long-term, medium long-term opportunities will do quite well, in my opinion. Right? So let's have a look at the crypto gaming projects first. Let's open Decentraland just for the fact that I want to compare it to that lower low previously. So definitely 180, we're not even near that range, right? We're heading in that direction, but we're still quite far away from it. So this is the slow decline that I mentioned, right? There have been some spikes, some upward trend, some downward trend. But if we look at a 1-year chart, right, this was the crypto gaming bull run, right? It's not all that bad. It's also not great. Right? Because great is obviously bullishness in the market, and that is something that is definitely not present at the moment. There's still quite a bearish pattern. Over the last 7 days, most of these crypto gaming projects losing between 7 to 10% of their value. Right? It doesn't mean that there cannot be any short-term pumps, right? The short-term pumps will inevitably be present. There have been some major announcements, one of which is that the US is voting to make the first $600 in Bitcoin tax-free, something like this. But those are like small adoptions that will not cause an immediate pump, but might give room for more adoption slowly. Right, you can see SolChicks down after the last claim, about 20%, BetU down 17%, Empire Dow 25%. So definitely the more micro cap projects, you can see the more we go down, the more volatile the actual percentages become, right? Up 22%, up 60%. So there's definitely still opportunity in regards to that. But obviously, overall, I wouldn't be too worried. I would definitely be focused on making entries. And I know that sounds like what nobody wants to know. And everybody's like, oh my God, you're down 5K, you're down 10K. But at some point, you need to make an entry. What will happen is, I've been through it twice. You might have been through it once, twice, 3 times, or you might never been through it. But once that initial bull cycle kicks in, you will likely be too late, because you'll be waiting and watching from the sidelines. And when these spikes actually occur, they occur rapidly. So look at this huge pump, right? This was like in a matter of 2 days. It basically went from like 75 cents to $3, right? And then it was a little bit of a stabilization for just, let's say 4 or 5 days. And then it pumped basically all the way up to 550. That happened in a matter of a week, right? Where basically when we look at, for example, Sandbox in that same period, which was 1 year, which was right here, 80 cents all the way until $8 times 10, basically. So I understand the cycle might not repeat itself just like that, right? It might look very much like a slow linear trend, who knows? But that's basically how I'm looking at it, right? So obviously my entry in Cryowar, my entry in Vulcan, I'm definitely not stressed at all, because there's so many other things going on in the market, right? Which you gotta make an entry at some point. Like I remember people complaining about Cedify a year ago, like, oh my God, it's $16, or what was it? Yeah, $16, right? On its peak. This was basically 1st of December, $16 on a Launchpad. Right now, it has lost majority of its value, right? 300% down, basically down to $4. Now you're almost getting an entry pre-crypto gaming bull run, right? That opportunity is likely not to be offered again, in my opinion, after the bullishness gets back. Right, so it might drop to $1, right? But at some point, you also want to take into consideration. So we only look, let me just talk for myself. I only look, or I tend to only look, as is a normal human emotion, at the downward trend, right? We only look at the risk of going down. But why do we never look at the risk of it going up, which basically is a 50% as significant risk? So in the linear downward trend, right, which it has been, well, let's do 1 year, in a linear downward trend like this, all we ask ourselves, what if it goes lower, right? That's basically a natural thought, which I think we all can agree on. But what if it goes up? What if it goes up and it never returns? Well, then I just wait. But then you might be waiting another year, another 2 years, or that opportunity might never come again, right? So that's obviously the other side of the story. And that's specifically something I'm looking at. Not obviously for crypto gaming, that's something I continuously look at. But I'm specifically looking at this in regards to Launchpads. So Polka started gaining about 56% today. That's a little crazy. I don't know why that happened. So they got listed somewhere because the volume went from 5 million to 150 million. So they probably got listed on Binance today. That's why the volume is so huge and the price went up 50%. That's probably the only reason. And then obviously they dump because the market is uncertain. So this will probably see $1.20 again later today. Nothing significant, just the pump flip, because the projects and everything else is still the same. So Super Farm, definitely quite interesting in terms of the price, in terms of the imposters mint, right? Which is something that we can cover actually, imposters, because they did make some changes. So I have about 4 whitelist spots, so I can mint 4 imposters. The mint happens on the 13th, in 13 days, so it happens on the 28th, I think, which is quite interesting. So they added a lot of information to the website after the initial feedback. They opened up the phases, so except it says like sus event. So in week 2, you can stake your imposters NFT and start earning blood. In week 4, you can have a UFO mint. In week 6, there's a pets mint. Then materials are used to upgrade UFOs and train pets. Luke fly in the game with some loot. Let the games begin with the community. And then, so this is basically after week 10. And then there's an open beta launch, battle pass, map maker, and then land in phase 3, and then a game mode maker. And they did try to offer some transparency. Let me see, where's the actual FAQ? Because in that FAQ, they basically said the mint price. I suppose, I think they did announce that it was going to be one mint per wallet, and I think it was 1 Ethereum. So from 3 Ethereum Dutch auction down to 1 Ethereum. I think that was supposed to be the information. Last I was updated, but I didn't get it from the Imposter website. I actually got it from the Neo Tokyo group. 58 cents, so definitely an interesting opportunity there. Because obviously this game would add value to that ecosystem, right? That's just what I'm taking into consideration. DAO Maker, stable, Cedify, losing a lot of value over the last 7 days. Stakings being released and people basically not have enough confidence in the actual IDOs that occur in the Launchpads. And this is basically one thing which we'll see like minus 80%, minus 10%. So all the ones that are up are probably up because of launches, right? But you can see after a launch, there's like a huge downturn as well on most of these Launchpads. So the Launchpads in general are suffering, and they are suffering quite a bit because people are fearful, which basically means people are less reluctant to invest into IDOs. And because they are more reluctant to invest into IDOs, pools do not get filled, which basically means that when the launch happens, there is more buying pressure, which means that projects don't want to launch because of the buying pressure and because of the raise pressure, which means that IDOs, TGEs get postponed, which means the Launchpads have no business, which means they suffer because people drop their token because there's no utility to it. Right, Meta VPAD down 20%, NFT launch down 22%, Engine Starter down 34%. So I know I get a lot of questions. Can you cover Engine Starter in the video? It's a good launch pad. But I mean, coming from 20 cents in the crypto gaming bull run now to 1.5 cents, it has lost 18 times its value. Yes, I can cover it in the video. I mean, people appear to be very much fan of this launch pad, but I'm really curious what they're going to do with the tokenomics because the volume is very low. The token value is very much down, and it used to be one of the bigger Launchpads, and right now it's just fading. If you look at the market cap list, it's nowhere near the top, right? KingPad suffering. There's almost no volume on these lower quality Launchpads as well, right? Look at AnyPad, down 42%, like 20. I think the vesting was released yesterday, so one of the last vestings, and obviously everybody dumps. And it's obviously like a huge disaster. I mean, of course, you could get like very, very cheap tokens right now, because that's basically it's just not for AnyPad alone. It's basically for any of these platforms. Like it's relative the same for AnyPad as it is for Cedify. You can pick up the tokens quite cheap for now if you don't look at the token value, but specifically look for the allocation that you might get. But then you need to get projects, right? They need to get projects. These projects need to launch. So it's definitely more so, I would say, for people that have a little bit more cash to play with. So $10,000, $15,000 plus. If you are limited for cash, you participate in IDOs for the quick flips, then a lot of these projects on TGE will not perform well, right? In the bullish market where we see like 6, 12x on TGE, right now you should be happy if you see like 1.5, 2x on TGE, which is obviously a lot less bullish overall and might not be in your direct interest. However, looking at, for example, Cedify, I mean, $4 is quite tempting looking at their tiers, right? So if we pull up Cedify tiers, right? So if we look up the Cedify tiers right now, so before, even for tier 2, it's 1000 S fund. Right now it's cost $4,000, still quite a lot of money, right? $4,000 to get into the tier 2. But can you imagine in the crypto gaming bull run that was $16,000 to get? So the highest tier right now is 400K. Right, a ridiculously high amount of money, but in the crypto gaming bull run it was $1.6 million, right? And in my opinion, I strongly believe in crypto gaming, the whole metaverse, all the opportunities that it brings. I think it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time until it happens, and I'm patient, right? You guys know. Let's have a look at Cryowar. It's probably a disaster. I haven't even looked at it. Yeah, 17 cents. So now actually might be the time where I actually make more entries, just because I think it's one of my favorite games, Cryowar. I was invited to the closed beta as well, because obviously I covered Cryowar on YouTube a lot, right? So they sent me a personalized message on Twitter if I was interested in getting like an access pass for their 1000 user only beta. I think that's quite cool. But look at this chart. So 17 cents, this will do like major pumps when the market reverses. And I think Cryowar can do it. I'm not as confident on Chambi Valley because that has been reducing. They've been throwing a lot of NFTs around for free. Fully diluted market cap, still insanely high. Market cap unconfirmed right now. There's still decent volume, so that's good. But I feel like they need to implement some kind of burn system sooner rather than later. Because if the market does reverse, they're not ready, right? Well, we briefly looked at SolCheck. So it finished the last vesting, sitting at about 1.8 cents, significantly below IDO price. Almost no volume at the moment. Market cap of only 6 million. This project doesn't really develop anything. All they post is like once every 3 weeks a development update, but they have been extremely quiet. I don't expect anything from them. Effie actually going near IDO price. It was actually below IDO price for quite a bit. But that's obviously the downward trend in the market. Look at extremely low volume as well on Polygon. Almost nothing, right? 60K daily traded volume. Because the fully diluted market cap is already quite high, I think it's normal. And Effie as the company, right? The next is the game. They have a good roadmap, so I'm definitely bullish on Effie in the long term. I think this will do, just as Cryowar on Solana, Effie will do amazing once the next bull run hits on Polygon, because I'm just super confident in their team, right? Where in Cryowar, I'm more confident in the game. Effie's team just looks very well structured. Everything is executed really well. Yeah, quite bullish on that in general. MCRT, Magic Craft. Okay, so definitely very, very low, last 3 months. Okay, so this is where we called it, bang, and we did make the proper exit. Again, low volume. It's like a common pattern. There's nothing really unique to this. It's not because it's a shit project. It's just the entire market sentiment that you're seeing across all these different crypto gaming coins. What else do we have? I wanted to look at one more. Let's look at Naneko. So that's actually not too bad compared to the rest. It's actually holding quite good, and there are definitely quite some swings. So after the 27th of February, so for the last 14 days, it has definitely been on a rapid decline. But there's not a lot of red, as you can see. So relative to the market's overall performance, it just has been on the last month. It basically went from the highest 24, so it lost like 3x its value, but it means that under reversal it can also push that, right? Which I think is interesting, just for the smaller players, right? Let's have a look at the FINA, just to check if I have the right one. But yeah, I think this is the FINA game. Yep, all right. So market cap 2.5 million, still quite bearish, but some decent pumps, right? Some strong swings. As you can see here, reached 48 cents, and then on a downward trend again. Right now, 33 cents might be an interesting entry. PancakeSwap holding most of the volume together with Maxi. But this is definitely on my list for the long-term bullishness, right? I haven't made an entry. I definitely have been watching. I need to sell some of my NFTs to get some liquidity to make some entries, because I have a feeling that some of these projects are so low right now. Whether I buy Cryowar for 10 cents or 17 cents, right? I think at that point it doesn't really matter that much if you know that if it goes back to the all-time high value in the next bullish pattern, that it goes like a 20x. Whether I buy it at 10 cents or 17 cents, obviously it makes some difference, but it doesn't make a huge difference. I rather buy it a little bit too expensive than, because you're never going to catch the lowest low. That's for one. And for two, I just keep telling myself, don't miss the actual low this time, right? Because we're all very fearful, but the reversal, when it happens, is imminent and it goes quickly, and it's gone before you know it, right? You've missed it. Then you're going to FOMO into projects, and then it will usually have quite a bit of a negative effect. So obviously the Bitcoin recovery, who knows, might take 6 days, might take 6 months, right? But I believe that sooner or later it will happen, and we have to be ready. And in the meantime, you know, I'm building this software tool. We're doing amazing things in Digits Club. So it's all going really well. We're basically hustling our way through the bear market. I did remove and add some coins, but you can definitely see that overall the value of the portfolio was a lot higher. Specifically the Launchpads that I have investing are basically losing their value. And we're basically rapidly building out this tool. So in the next 2 weeks, there will be a lot of updates. So if you want to use this tool for free, track your entire vesting portfolio. So it's not like CoinMarketCap where you can track active coins. It basically tracks your vesting that's going to be released. You can fill out the information. We have some coins in our database. And all I want in return for you to use this tool for free is for you to provide feedback. So as soon as you find something which you don't like, or you have suggestions on how to make things better, you can click on feedback, and we collect the feedback, and I basically send you back answers on your feedback tickets right here in the Digits Club Discord under Track Digits. Basically, people who send in feedback, I basically give an answer, how long it will take to process, etc., etc., etc. I've changed the form a little bit so I can capture Discord usernames as well, to make sure that I can tag people and actually relay their feedback, that we're actually working together with the people to make the best tool possible, because there's nothing like this on the market. People like myself use Excel sheets to track everything. There's basically, if you have 12, 15 projects to track, it's still manageable. It just takes a lot of time, and 9 out of 10 times you'll miss the claims. This integrates directly with Google Calendar. You get notifications on your desktop or on your phone when to claim. One of the best softwares we've ever built, and I'm extremely bullish on this. So it is not open just yet to register. Join the Digits Club Discord through the link in the description, and over the next couple of days there will be an announcement there when basically Track Digits opens up during the beta, free to use for all users, so we can collect feedback and you can enjoy this amazing tool. So if you're interested in that, check the link in the description. That's everything for today. I'm unfortunately out of time. I will cover the NFTs tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe and check back, because from today onwards I'll be back every single day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.